So the facility that we're in today is the original maintenance and repair shop for the Central of Georgia Railroad. Central of Georgia was the state's first and most successful railroad company that was founded in 1833 by William Washington Gordon. If you don't know who that is, you may know his granddaughter, Juliet Gordon Lowe, who founded the Girl Scouts of America. Now, before there was even an idea to build a facility on this ground, history was already made here. Because believe it or not, we're also on top of a Revolutionary War battlefield. On the other side of the gift shop is a memorial park which commemorates the Battle of Savannah, which took place on this ground on October 9th, 1779. It was one of the bloodiest battles in the American Revolution. It was also the bloodiest hour in the entire war. The battle only lasted 55 minutes, but in that time, 1,150 soldiers would be dead or wounded. And only about 150 of those casualties were with the English forces. The other 1,000 that were dead were American soldiers, militia, and their allies, which were soldiers from the modern-day countries of France, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Ireland, Sweden, Switzerland, Poland, and Lithuania. We're all here trying to help us retake our city from the English. Now, William Washington Gordon's father, Ambrose, was here at the battle as a cavalry lieutenant, and another historical figure was here. Unfortunately, this would also be one of the battle's more notable casualties. This casualty was one of the commanders of the American forces, a Polish nobleman who was hired by George Washington to train our cavalry. This man's name was Casimir Pulaski. While Pulaski was charging the fortifications where the park now stands, he was shot in the leg by a cannon, and he fell off his horse. Pulaski would survive another 4 hours before dying from his injuries, and he is now buried underneath Monterey Square, 1 block north of Forsyth Park. Another historic figure that was at this battle was an architect named Charles Pierre L'Enfant. He was a soldier serving in the French army, and at this battle he would be shot and left for dead on the battlefield. Fortunately, Monsieur L'Enfant would survive his injuries, and he would move on to design our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Finally, at this battle was a young man named Henri Christophe. Henri was only 12 years old when he was here at the battle, and he was serving as a drummer boy for the Haitian volunteer chasseurs. After the revolution, he returned to his island home of Haiti and witnessed the beginning of his own country's revolution to liberate themselves from France. Seeing that some of his comrades from this battle were some of the leaders of the revolution, Henri signed up with them. And at some point in this conflict, he named himself King of Northern Haiti. After the revolution, the island held their first election, and Henri was elected as the island's first ever president. Now, as we back up to our right, you'll see what remains of a brick building that's being held up by blue steel beams. This is where our children's museum is, and it used to be the facility's carpentry shop. In 1923, a worker inside that building would fail to turn off his blowtorch properly before clocking out, and his mistake would result in 3 buildings burning to the ground in a single night. Over the next 2 years, those buildings would be reconstructed. Then, in the 1980s, 60 years later, after the city abandoned the site, a homeless community would move in, and one night someone would forget to extinguish a campfire, and the building would burn down a second and final time. The end of the line near the edge of our property. Now, if we were here before the 1970s, we would be able to continue down this rail and go across a bridge that would take us to the main train line. Unfortunately, in the early 70s, that bridge was destroyed because 18-wheeler trucks kept getting stuck underneath it. Now, if you were a trucker before the 1970s and you need to get under this low-clearance bridge, here's what you had to do. You would have to get out of your truck, deflate every single tire, roll the truck under the bridge, and then reinflate those tires on the other side. And this was before the days of portable automatic air pumps and air compressors. So you had to reinflate those tires by hand. So you can imagine, there'd be a long line of 18-wheelers parked all along Louisville Road with an equally long line of very angry truckers reinflating their tires. Eventually, the truckers petitioned the city to do something about their problem, and you can see what the city's solution was. They simply destroyed the bridge. In doing so, they severed the only way in or out of this facility by railroad. So now no train car or engine can get in or out of this facility without being disassembled first and then have the pieces transported by 18-wheeler truck. And if that's not irony, I don't know what is.